Welcome to 5 Story Ideas. This week we're going to focus on 5 story ideas for a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Let's talk about Star Wars, the original trilogy. In 1977, Star Wars hit theaters and broke the science fiction genre as we knew it. Continuing that story into The Empire Strikes Back and then Return of the Jedi, many kids emulated Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, the droids on their quest of the rebellion to overthrow the evil galactic empire. But it wasn't until 1987 when a Star Wars RPG really hit the market. West End Games put it out, and it was extremely popular for the time. In 2000, Wizards of the Coast put out an updated Star Wars RPG with more content. And in 2012, Fantasy Flight put out their Star Wars RPGs. Arguably, many other systems have been adapted into the Star Wars universe, and the genre is enjoyed by many tabletops across the globe. If you're playing a Star Wars RPG, whether it's from West End Games, Fantasy Flight, or your own creation, here are 5 ideas to tie into the original trilogy. Oftentimes, tying back into the original material can be very rewarding for players as well as the GM, because it's an opportunity to recognize the content and bring your characters into the fold of the canon material. This gives your immersion a little bit better opportunity to take root in your players, because they're able to see how their actions and reactions interact with the world that they know from, whether it's the big screen, printed material, comics, whatever the case. By focusing on the original trilogy, here are 5 story ideas to tie into each section of that trilogy series. Number 1, start by being recruited by the rebellion. If a rebellion agent approaches the characters with a mission to retrieve equipment from, maybe it's Cato Nemoidia, it's well understood that the Rebel Alliance used old, unpopular machinery in their fight against the Empire. By having your player characters go to Cato Nemoidia, you can utilize the story element that Cato Nemoidia had been bidding for supplying the Empire, but they did not win the contract. The player characters may have to get a small amount of equipment for the Rebel Alliance. With the Rebel Alliance currently on Yavin 4, a great piece of equipment would be speeders. If the players are able to negotiate a contract subversively with Cato Nemoidia, who is under Imperial control, and acquire, say, a half a dozen speeders, which are armed and armored, that would be a huge benefit to the rebellion. They would have to go in, work on negotiations or hacking, acquire the speeders, and leave with the speeders to get them to Yavin 4, where the Rebel Alliance could utilize them in the heavy canopied world or moon of Yavin 4. Lots of great plot elements, hooks, storylines, and opportunities for each of the different player character archetypes to interact with that story session. Number 2, after acquiring those speeders from the first story idea, once you get to Yavin 4 with the speeders in tow, the Death Star has been destroyed, and the Empire now knows where the Rebel Alliance is. This means you're not able to stay on Yavin 4. Utilizing this opportunity, you can use your characters to either scout out the next place where the Rebel Alliance will establish a base on Hoth, or maybe just avoid detection if you have to leave Yavin 4 and cover your tracks, because you wouldn't want a mass exodus from Yavin 4 to Hoth. It's a great opportunity for maybe your characters to stop at Iraq, retrieve an engineer who has to work on the speeders and make them adaptable to the new home of Hoth. This again gives a lot of opportunity for different type of story arcs, whether it's escaping Yavin 4 and incoming Imperial forces and having to pilot your way through, subterfuge for finding and recruiting the engineer who can work on the speeders to make them suitable for Hoth, evading or infiltrating an Imperial base to retrieve the engineer, or even just hang out and let the heat cool down a little bit before heading to Hoth. Lots of opportunity for storytelling, and it again moves into ways to tie it into the overarching story of the original trilogy, happening between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. Number 3, I don't think there's anything better than the escape from Hoth and the Imperial forces. While we know Hoth was being assaulted by the Imperial forces on the ground, we get hints of the operation to evacuate the Rebel Alliance from Hoth. Again, leading to opportunities where your player characters have to outmaneuver and outrun Imperial forces leaving Hoth. And again, having to allow things to cool down before you're able to recuperate with the rest of the Alliance at the edge of the Galactic Rim. This is a great opportunity to tie into the challenges and backsets of Empire Strikes Back by having the massive Imperial fleet constantly hounding and flogging your player characters. It can seem almost bleak, which ties into the movie and allows them an opportunity to see that they're not superheroes and they are up against a formidable force. Number 4, infiltrate an Imperial communication station on Coruscant. Coruscant is the central power of the Empire, and what better way to pit them against that overarching enemy as going to the home world of Coruscant, where the Imperial forces are based from, by utilizing more subterfuge and hacking and disguise. It allows a different type of opportunity for your players to have to infiltrate and retrieve data and deliver that data to the Rebel Alliance. That data could be the information that we hear of leading into Return of the Jedi, that the Emperor himself will be overseeing final construction of the new Death Star. Number 5, tying into Return of the Jedi. What better way than having your players have to partake in the Battle of Endor? Whether they have their own ship or are loaned a ship by the Rebel Alliance, having to stave off the Imperial forces of Star Destroyers and Super Star Destroyer, as well as fighters, to give the Rebel Alliance on the ground time to take out the shield. Fantastic opportunity for ship-to-ship combat, as well as an opportunity to maybe board one of the Imperial ships and attempt to take it over in a pirate-esque style scenario. I hope these 5 tips have helped stir some creativity if you're playing a Star Wars role-playing game. Also, if you're looking for just a change of pace from your regular Dungeons & Dragons or any other role-playing system, check out Star Wars the Role-Playing Game. Well-known, well-respected, and lots of opportunities to pick up the dice and roll together. Leave your comments below on what you thought of the story ideas, items you might use, items you would change, and how you've tied into the canon material to help drive immersion and recognition at your tabletop. Until next week, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe and let us know, where will your adventures take you? Thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed. Here's an additional video that we feel you may like, and be sure to hit the subscribe button as we continue to grow and develop. Our first milestone of 25 subscribers is going to lead to 5 of those subscribers drawn at random to receive a free t-shirt. Make sure to share and help us grow. Thank you, and be sure to comment below. Where will your adventures take you?